Andrew for Walsh's Gardens. Today we're back behind the scenes looking at one of my personal favorite perennials that I love to geek out about. To pinpoint that we have a lot of cool new varieties upcoming. We are, of course, talking about Epimedium or Barrenwort. So this is a perennial that we propagate quite differently from a lot of our other plants because it can be a little bit finicky, it can be a little bit temperamental at the young plant stage. So we are right now in our stock block area. This is where we have all of our clean stock. These plants will eventually be divided, put into trays, and sold to our customers, with a portion kept back so that we can propagate more new epimedium plants. So what makes epimedium cool? Well, first thing you gotta look at are the flowers. There's really just not many things that look like this in the garden, particularly with the newer varieties where you are mixing out the species together. You're getting all these really cool different colors, different patterns, in between incredibly deep sepals along twisting point beams of Jester hat-like flowers. So that in and of itself is just really just a cool reason to select this plant. So beyond the flowers, epimedium are just a very useful garden plate. So if you're looking for something that you can put into the shade that's going to have really nice floral performance, epimedium are great for that. Their habits are semi-evergreen, so they don't ever really completely die back to the ground. So the foliage itself has some interesting modeling, some bronzing to it, the different trees between different varieties. They don't tend to get a lot of deer and rabbit browsing on them. They're a fairly tough plant. The habit of epimedium is stoloniferous, so they typically tend to kind of fill the space that they're in, but they're not an aggressive ground cover. So if you're looking for something that's going to be low maintenance, that's going to give you a really cool flowering performance, not get bothered by browsing animals, that require a lot of in-depth maintenance, then epimedium is definitely a plant that I should make attention to look at. So what are we doing to keep our epimedium disease-free and clean and healthy? Well, one of the most common ways that they pass diseases to each other is through the soils. That's why we have them all in their individual containers. Whenever we divide them, short studies about me use clean knives. We clean the knives along each plant to get it in between each variety in order to make sure we're not passing disease that way. Um, when we water them, we have them up off the ground even more, so that way any water that mixes, there's no chance for disease to pass between the pots that way. So it's just a few extra things that we have to do where other plants that we do through division, such as our berry phthalo, a berry hostas, which we're able to line up the field. You do sometimes see a little bit of a higher price point on these plants. They are a little bit difficult in production. You do have to do them all through straight division, having one plant cutting in half. So in order to create two plants. So they are slower to propagate. They're fairly prone to disease. So you don't tend to see a ton of them out on the market, but when you can find them, they are an incredibly cool plant to add to your garden. So as I said before, one of the really nice things about epimedium is there's a lot of variation within the genus. For flower color, you can get different shades of white, yellow, pink, and even some red tones in the flower. A lot of options for bicolors, multicolored flowers. The variety that I'm next to right now is called Cranberry Jester. So this is a new variety that we're bringing to our catalog for 2024, 2025. It has a really beautiful cranberry red center to each of the flowers, nice cranberry backing, a little bit of white variegation to see those, of course, these cool yellow tips layers. One of the things that we really like about this variety, some of the other new varieties that we're bringing to the market, is they improve flower support. So if you're looking at the block behind me, it is absolutely packed with flowers. If you look at the individual flower stalks, Cranberry Dancer is just starting to come on, but you'll notice that it has really good branching on each stem, so you get a lot of flowers. Then the inflorescences themselves are incredibly long. So this one has started blooming, though we typically see over a foot of blooms on each individual crop. So that's really like a much longer performing, much longer flowering performance compared to some of the older, more traditional varieties like Lilithmate that you would typically see out in the market. So that is a great answer. So next to our new for the 2024-25 season, we have a variety called Green Catcher. So this is one of our nicest new varieties. Really good flower coverage on this one. A little bit earlier to bloom. Excellent vigor. Just absolutely active foliage here. So it's going to be a great performer in the garden. Again, those really long inflorescences. So lots of blooms for each individual plant. And then one of the things that is really cool is this one has a nice showing of two different colors. If you look at the plant from the top down, you're going to get a lot of pink that you see on the backs of the sepals. But then if you look at the profiles, you'll notice a lot more of this really beautiful golden yellow color. So that one is Dreamcatcher. So last we have a variety called Jester's Cat, aptly named for the shape of the flower. There's always in the pack for additional Jester's Cat. Um, this one kind of looks a little bit like Dreamcatcher, but it is different. So flowers again very long, a little bit later to bloom. The foliage doesn't have as much of that bronzing to it as what you get on Dreamcatcher. It's more of a clear green, a bit of a lighter green. And then the flowers themselves are more golden yellow with just a hint of that deep reddish pink back to them. So that is a darker shade of style. So a bit different. So that's the Epimedium program here at Walter's Gardens. 3 exciting varieties to look forward to. And we have more in the pipeline. So keep an eye out for what we have next.